If you had told me 9 years ago that ETS2 and ATS would look and feel like this, I would have laughed. Back then, these were great trucking games. Today, they are becoming true simulation experiences. And somehow, SCS software keeps finding new ways to improve them. With every update, the games feel more alive, more realistic, more immersive. That is one of the biggest reasons ETS2 and ATS have stayed on top for so long. The improvements never stop. Now, a new feature coming in Update 1.60 has really caught my attention. SCS is revamping the radio system. At first, it might not sound like a major feature, but for a game where you spend hours on the road, radio matters. A lot. Whether you're hauling cargo across Germany, driving through the Alps, or cruising across the deserts of Arizona, good music can completely change the experience. Long journeys feel more enjoyable, the road feels more alive, and the world around you feels more connected. That's where the new game radio feature comes in. Update 1.60 will introduce 5 built-in radio stations: Rust, FM, Pump It, Escape, Radio, and Pop Gear. Each station will have its own personality and music style, giving players more choice while driving. Instead of always relying on external music apps or online radio streams, you'll now have dedicated stations built directly into the game. And honestly, that's a pretty cool addition. It helps make ETS2 and ATS feel even more complete. But the stations themselves are only part of the update. SCS is also introducing a brand new audio player widget. While driving, the widget will appear above the navigation screen and provide useful playback information in real time. You'll be able to see the station name, station icon, current song title, artist name, and even an animated audio wave visualization. There will also be a favorite station indicator, making it easier to keep track of the stations you enjoy most. It may sound like a small detail, but visually it adds a lot to the experience. The interface looks cleaner, more modern, and much closer to what you would expect from a real truck's infotainment system. The best part is that players will have control over it. Through the F6 widget options menu, you'll be able to customize how and when the radio information appears on screen. That means you can adjust the experience to suit your own driving style. If you prefer a cleaner screen, you can do that. If you want more information visible while driving, you'll have that option too. And for the modding community, things get even more interesting. SCS is allowing players to create custom radio stations using their own music. Those stations can then be shared with the community just like any other mod. Just imagine the possibilities. Custom trucking stations, country music stations, rock stations, regional stations designed for specific maps, or even community-made radio packs built around different trucking experiences. The potential here is huge. And knowing how creative the ETS2 and ATS modding community is, I'm sure we'll see some amazing radio station mods shortly after release. What I like most about this feature is that it focuses on immersion. SCS could have easily left the radio system untouched for years. Instead, they decided to improve it. They looked at a part of the game that players use every day and found a way to make it better. That's exactly the kind of development that has helped ETS2 and ATS remain successful for so many years. It's not always about massive features. Sometimes it's the smaller improvements that players notice the most because they interact with them every single session. And that's what makes game radio exciting. Every delivery, every road trip, every time you start the engine and head toward your next destination, the new system will be there, adding more life to the experience. And when you look at the bigger picture, this feature is part of a much larger trend. SCS is no longer focusing only on trucks, trailers, and map expansions. They're improving the entire experience around trucking. The user interface, the audio systems, the visuals, the driving experience, the immersion, everything is being modernized. That is why Update 1.60 is becoming one of the most interesting updates we've seen in a long time. On its own, a radio overhaul might not sound revolutionary. But when you combine it with all the other improvements SCS has been making recently, you start to see the bigger vision. They are building a more complete trucking simulator, a game that feels modern, a game that feels alive, a game that continues to evolve even after all these years, and that's honestly impressive. Most games slow down after a few years. ETS2 is more than a decade old. ATS is approaching a decade as well. Yet both games are still receiving meaningful improvements that make players excited for the future. I know games can get expensive sometimes. You see something you really want, and then the price just puts you off. That's exactly why I like using instant gaming. They've got a huge library of games across different categories, and the prices are much lower than usual. Whether you're on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, or even Nintendo, you can find something that works for you. The process is simple. Just pick your game, go to checkout, choose your preferred payment method, and you'll get your key. Then you activate it on your platform, and it's yours forever. I like how quick and easy that is. It's also safe and reputable, which is important. And on top of that, they're running a monthly giveaway where you can win the game of your choice, so don't miss that. All the links are in the description. That's something you don't see very often in the gaming industry. So while some players might see game radio as a small feature, I think it's another step in the right direction. It's another layer of immersion, another quality of life improvement, another reason to spend more time on the road. And if this is the level of attention SCS is giving to the radio system, then I can't wait to see what else they have planned for Update 1.60 and beyond. Because one thing is becoming very clear. ETS2 and ATS are not slowing down. They're still evolving, and they're becoming better with every update.